What's up, YouTube? It's Aaron, your personal driver, and today we're going to talk about self-defense. Now, this is a very important topic. A little overblown, I think, for some people, but it's one of the most common questions that I get asked and asked and asked again, over and over again. So I'm going to do this video for all you new drivers out there, and some of you veterans, too, will probably like to hear this explanation as we go through different ideas and techniques for self-defense, okay? But first, let me just say, Timothy in the house! Simon in the house! Oh Jesus, how do you say it? Jamawi in the house! God, I hope that's close. I have no idea what's going on. So what's on, guys? I'm glad you're going back. We have 10 people already. This is the most people we've ever had at our initial launch ever. So you guys are getting used to coming here Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So this is the live stream I do every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's for all you new drivers and maybe some old drivers who have a question. It's an Ask Me Anything. I will have a general topic that I'll talk about from start to finish, and I'll answer any of your questions. So go ahead, if you're new, in this box right here, go ahead and ask the question away and I'll do it. Furthermore, if you're brand new, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there below and the stupid YouTube bell icon so you can get notifications when I do live streams or when I do my regular videos every Monday, which we didn't have on this Monday, but normally Monday I have new rideshare videos for information. Every Wednesday I do an Ask Me Anything like this. And Friday and Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I do live in-car live stream, so you can watch me in my car and talk with other rideshare drivers. CJ Maddox says, you going to talk about your ninja skills? You know, I used to have some pretty good ninja skills. I am old and fat and slow now, so I don't have too many ninja skills. But yeah, I do know probably more than the average person about self-defense. I spent 5 years in the 82nd Airborne, so we had a bunch of different tactics, but that's another era, man. That was when I was young and thin and beautiful back then. So what else was I saying? Oh, and if you are returning and it's not your first time here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and you know, ask me some questions here. If you're watching this on replay, leave a comment below about what do you do in your car to prepare for potentially dangerous situations. You guys carrying, you got pepper spray, you just don't give a shit, you do whatever. Let me know in the comments below if you're watching this on a replay. So, first off, before I get into the nitty gritty and some details here, I want to say that drivers' safety is way overblown as far as negative situations. Now, let me tell you, across the world, not just in the United States, across the world. Timothy says, you are the shit. Oh, thank you very much, Timothy. That's perfect. You're the shit, brother. You the shit. Way out of proportions. It is really safe. Okay, it's a very safe industry. Virtually nobody gets into any situation where they're uncomfortable or there's illegal activity going on. Oh, it's almost always safe. Just think about this. Billions with a B. Billions and billions and billions of transactions between rideshare drivers, cabbies, limo drivers, whatever it be, and customers happen around the country every single month, right? Week, month, however you're going to do it, day, however you're going to break it down. And out of those billions of transactions, 99.999.5% of them are just going to be fine, okay? Personally, I've given about 2,500 rides, and of that, I've only ever felt uncomfortable maybe twice. So it's less than 1% something bad will happen. And everyone gets freaked out because there's these articles that are posted online about this person got robbed, this person got killed, this person got into a fight. And those are scary, right? I read those and I get freaked out. My wife reads those and she gets freaked out. But don't worry. That is a rarity, okay? That is the minority of situations that doesn't normally happen. Most people will never ever experience any kind of like assault in their car or anything like that, okay? So keep that in mind. This is a very safe industry. It's a very safe job. You're not like a cop on the beat, and, you know, trying to stop drug dealers and gangsters and stuff like that. You're just picking somebody up and dropping them off. So with that in mind, I will go 4 because there are some precautions that you can take, preventative measures that you might want to know about that will make you feel safer. And it's never bad to be prepared, right? So if you're prepared for it, then here's some situations. Simon says, guys, the best defense is owning a dash cam, my brothers. That is a great segue. I almost feel like we coordinated before this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, hey, Simon, at the end of my introduction, man, say something about dash cams, because that is a perfect example. That was going to be the first thing I was going to say. So the number one thing you can do is get a dash cam, and that covers you for a lot of things, because the number one thing is, if a criminal is going to do something shady, they're not going to do it to somebody with a dash camera. I mean, they're not going to be that desperate. There's a million cabs. There's a million ride shares. So if they're going to try to rob somebody, they're going to see the dash cam and pick somebody else. It's like having a dog or like one of those defense systems at your house. People who are going to rob somebody, they're just going to go someplace else. There are plenty of houses without dogs. There are plenty of houses without security systems. It's just easier if you're going to randomly rob somebody who doesn't have any kind of dash cam in this case, but in the house case, like security system. Simon says, don't be cheap and buy a fucking dash cam. That's my advice, and keep it professional even if it's their fault. Yes. So the other thing a dash cam does is if there is some kind of confrontation, that you have evidence to back up your side of the story, right? So sometimes to rob you and you manage to like run away, you can tell the cops what happened. You have proof of it. But more important than that, it's a deterrent. So yes, you can still get robbed, you can still get shot, you can still get stabbed, or whatever the case is if you have a dash cam. But generally speaking, criminals just don't do it, right? They get in the car and they're like, ugh. And then they move on with their day and they're going to rob somebody else. It's a great deterrent. And if you do get robbed, you have the evidence to go with the cops. So you have their name on the app, and then you have their picture on the phone. So it'll help you in anything like that. Simon says, recently a DA got fired from her job because she was cursing and disrespecting the driver. Yes, that's true. Yeah, you're right. But always have to be aware. That's true, Timothy and Simon. So a dash cam is going to help you, not necessarily for criminal elements, but it will help you for general, everyday rideshare stuff and things. So, like, you know, if there's a fare that complains about you doing something like the DA, you can go back and do that. One Way Lawn Service says, I'm here but links. Thanks for sharing. No problem. Have total of 10,000 plus rides. Damn, son, that's grinding some shit out right there. That's Timothy grinding some shit out right there. Okay. So get a dash cam. It'll make you safer. It'll make you feel better. And if something happens in your car, you can defend yourself. And even if it's not physical, it's just mental or verbal abuse, you can still defend yourself. Jamawi says, anyone knows what's the noticeable stealthy dash cam? Hey, Aaron, says Steve Power. Steven in the house. Hope everything's going great with you. Everything's going fantastic, my friend. So, the best camera you can have for under $200 is the N2, the Vantrue N2 Pro. Okay, it has night vision. It's around $200, $150 to $200 depending on the coupon codes you use and stuff like that. The best overall camera period you can have is the Blackview, but those are between $450 and $500. Although I have seen them on sale recently for around $300 because like the holiday season, the cameras usually have coupons. Yes, so I have the N2 Pro and I absolutely love it. I do a lot of my videos with it, so you can check out my channel and look at the different cabin feeds I have, and those are with the N2 Pro. The Blackview is a little bit better, although I will say the audio I think is actually better on the N2 Pro, even though it's the least expensive camera. So, moving on from that, there are basically 3 things. Black Friday and Cyber Monday is coming. Yes, that's a good point. That's another reason why we're doing this. So if you need to get some kind of self-defense thing, you might be able to pick it up on a discount. So there's basically 3 ideas for tools you can have for self-defense. The first one, it's the United States, so everyone is super gun happy, so you can carry a pistol in your car. The second is pepper spray, and the third is some kind of stun apparatus, whether it be a stun gun or a taser. So no excuses, guys. Chop chop, spin that moolah. Exactly, you gotta buy a dash cam. There's no reason that you should ever do one single ride without a dash camera. It's too risky. Uber Frankie in the house. Moose, what's up, Uber? Frankie. I like how you changed your name. I think you changed your name. Did you hear before, Frankie? There was someone here before Frankie who wasn't Uber Frankie. So if you didn't change your name, what's going on? So, first off, before we go any further in this, Uber and Lyft both have basically the same policy, which you are not allowed to carry any kind of, defensive weapon. So you can't have a gun in your car, you can't have pepper spray, you can't have a taser. They just straight, that's their policy. You're not allowed to have it as a driver. Too bad, so sad. But here's the thing, like, 1 second. Oh man, I'm gonna sneeze. We got lots of allergies going on back here, sorry. So, there's all kinds of articles that pop up about Uber drivers who get robbed and used weapons, and they almost all get deactivated from Uber or Lyft. But like I say, it is better to be alive and safe than it is to be on Uber and Lyft's good sides. Tony Stoll in the house! What's going on, guys? Hey, thanks for hanging over here. I appreciate it. So, keep that in mind. Now, I think it's better to be safe than to make them happy. And if you get fired, you can always do like delivery with DoorDash or TaskRabbit or something else, or hell, work at McDonald's. Working at McDonald's alive is a lot better than following Uber's policy and being dead. So just want to keep that in mind. So first off, here's my opinion on firearms in a car. Now, I was in the military, so I have a little bit more training than most civilians do, especially with firearms. And I will say that it is a tool that can help you in a self-defense situation. That being said, I think its effectiveness in the use of self-defense is just widely overblown. So if you don't know how to use a firearm and you go and buy one, it's actually more risky to have it than to not have it. So if you are dead set on getting a gun, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. You can do it. But I will say before you do it, you need to have at least like 50 hours of some kind of training, whether that's going to the range or hiring somebody with expertise to show you how to do it and everything like that. Because a person, like, there's nothing more dangerous than a person with a firearm who doesn't know what they're doing, okay? And you'll actually put yourself in more harm. Now, if you do have the training and you do feel safe and comfortable with a firearm, I'm not going to tell you not to get a gun, okay? It's on you. I will say this, though. The idea of a good guy with a gun stopping the bad guy has been basically debunked by anybody who's ever done any research on it. Timothy says, brother in Milwaukee, I'll wake up 3 or 4 in the morning to watch your streams. They're the bomb. Thanks you, Timothy. You're awesome, man. Woo! I'm glad. I'll keep those streams coming, I promise. And what I mean by that is, so every once in a while you hear an article about person A stops firing or stops person B who was robbing or shooting somebody by shooting the assailant, and everyone celebrates. Ah! Like, those are good. I'm glad that like a mass shooter was shooting people and he got stopped by another gunman. But those instances are so much more rare than Bob got his gun stolen from him because he didn't know what he was doing and shot by assailant, or accidentally went off and shot his foot, or got his guns, like, you know, was misfired or didn't know what he was doing, right? Like, those things are way more common. Self-inflicted gun injuries are more common than bad guy gets stopped by good guy. So keep that in mind. And you can get mad at me and you can down this vote or unsubscribe or tell me I'm some liberal, hippie, gun-hating guy. I mean, that's not true, but you can say that, and that's fine. But those are facts, man. Don't get mad at me. Those are just facts. Most people will never, ever encounter a situation that will they ever need a gun in their entire life. 99% of everyone on Earth will never, ever experience that. It's a little worse in the United States because everyone here has a gun. So, but even in the United States, it's never going to happen. And the situation when it does happen, you're a lot safer to not do anything anyway. That being said, let's talk about firearms in the car. Let's say you're going to do that. But first, let's do this. Steven Prout says, loves the streams as well. Simon NC says, got a trip, bro. Seeing you. Say hi to Joe at Dark Road. I will. Dark Road Run is one of my my buddies on YouTube. Okay, so firearms in a car. If you're going to own a firearm, in my personal opinion, it is a terrible idea to have it in the car with you while you're doing Uber and Lyft. So firearms are very effective for external threats. So people outside of the car coming into the car. Okay, like you're at a stop sign, you're at a stoplight, you're in traffic, someone tries to carjack you, okay? then having a firearm is very effective. In fact, there's a really popular article that happened in Florida where a Uber driver had packs in his car and somebody came to their car and tried to steal the car. The guy got his gun out and fired at the assailant, killing him, and saved the passengers and his lives, right? So I agree that for external threats, having a firearm in your car is a good idea. So like, let's say you're going to go on a road trip, you're going camping with your family or something like that. It might not be a bad idea to have a firearm in your car if the state that you're in allows that to happen and you have all appropriate paperwork you need to have. The problem is, in close quarters, firearms are very, very inefficient, especially in something like a car. You're facing forward and most likely your assailant is going to be directly behind you in the car, okay? And it is almost physically impossible to pull the firearm, load the firearm, point the firearm, and fire the firearm directly behind you with any kind of effectiveness. In fact, you're probably going to hurt yourself or more than you will hurting the assailant anyway inside a car. Now, if you must have a gun inside a car, there are training sessions you can go to, close quarters combat with firearms. And I have done like this much of that sort of thing in the Army. And I'm telling you, it's not as easy as you think. Because when you point, aim, and shoot, usually you're shoulder height, elbow slightly bent in front. But in a car, you're going to have the firearm right here. Your range of motion is very limited here and here. And unless you're a super skinny dude or chick, you can't even twist to get to the person behind you. Furthermore, if your assailant pulls a gun out on you, you think that you're like in the wild, wild west, a quick draw man? You're going to be able to pull your gun out of the bottom of the dash, aim and fire before they do? Come on, man. You're not going to do it. And having the gun in the car actually increases the potential problems that you'll have. Because as much access as you have to the gun, somebody in the passenger seat also has it. If they have long enough arms to reach under the dashboard and get it, your assailant is just as likely to get the gun as you are. It's not a good idea as a rideshare driver to use a gun in self-defense unless you've had the specialized training that I'm talking about. So if you have, or if you desperately need to have a gun to feel safe, before you buy the gun, get the close quarter training and know what you're doing, okay? Because otherwise you're just going to hurt yourself. So let's go over to the stream real quick. Timothy says, oh snap, Mike, your personal driver is live. A true dilemma, lol, lol, lol. Oh, come on. Mike knows I do this every Wednesday at 3 p.m. He's trying to cut in, trying to steal my subscribers. Jose Ramos in the house. What up, Jose? Timothy Wong says, very entertaining. Your reaction to picking up on Pike Street at bar close. Just classic. So true. I agree. Timmy Show says, I saw a video of a guy who went to a club to club a fish over the head and hit himself in the crotch. Well, that's very interesting and funny. So, I don't think you should have a firearm in the car when you're doing Uber because I think that you're putting yourself at more risk than you will save yourself. So, I think, or the second one, pepper spray. So pepper spray is very popular. Again, it's a bad idea, I think, in rideshare because you're going to spray yourself inside a car and you're going to inhale the intoxicants from the pepper spray in the car. Your windows are up. It's a closed space. So pepper spray doesn't just go in one distinct area. It kind of distributes itself like this. And in a small area like a car, the pepper spray is not only going to hit the assailant, but it's going to get in your eyes. So it's still better than a firearm, but it's still a bad idea for rideshare. And on top of that, you're kind of spraying pepper spray all over your car, and that's going to be a bitch to clean. I know that if someone's trying to rob you or hurt you, that washing your car is like the least important of the problems, but it's still a pain in the ass, right? Like, I still don't want to do it. So pepper spray is good if you're like walking from work to your car and you're afraid of someone in the parking lot's going to attack you, because you can pull the pepper spray out, hit them, and then run. But when you're in a car, if someone does that and use pepper spray, like it's unilateral disarmament. So you're going to get the assailant, but then you're going to also have the same effects as them. So it's going to get in your eyes, it's going to get in your mouth and in your nose, and then you're not going to be able to know or hear, and you're going to freak out too. What's more problematic than that is if you've never experienced pepper spray before, you're going to panic even more when that happens to you and you've never experienced it before, because pepper spray sucks. I've been pepper sprayed, not because I'm some creepy weirdo hitting on girls, but because in the Army, everyone gets pepper sprayed, basically. We go to the gas chamber without a mask and have to learn to breathe in all that kind of stuff and deal with the panic of your eyes hurting and your nose burning and your mouth burning, right? So I'm not saying I would react kindly to it like it doesn't affect me, but I'm saying it wouldn't shock me. But if you've never been pepper sprayed before and you use it, it's going to shock you and it's going to panic you and your head isn't going to be clear. In an emergency situation, keeping a clear head is one of the most important things. So I don't think you should have pepper spray when you're doing rideshare either. It's a bad idea. Timothy says, best to just jam on the brakes, watch the mofo flying. It's a tough choice. Brother, just had some honeys up in the whip. Smells so good. So, Timothy, that's a good point. At the end of this, I'm going to basically talk about what you're talking about right now, which is how to deal with an assailant like that. And that brings us to our last option, which is electricity, right? A taser. So, for those of you who don't know about self-defense tools and weapons, there are two things, right? There's a gun, and then there's just a traditional taser. Okay, the ones you see on TV and in the movies and stuff like that are generally the gun version, which is where you have a controller, you aim it, you fire it, little things come out attached to the assailant, you pull the trigger and they get electrocuted. Okay, sometimes they're called a stun gun to differentiate it from general tasers. And again, these are good when you have space. Okay, so if you're outside walking from your house to your car or whatever, work to through the parking lot, and an assailant comes, you can pull it out, you can aim it, you can fire it, and what's more important than that is it keeps the assailant at a distance, right? So if you're electrocuting them, they can't grab you, they can't grab the taser, they can try to pull the things out, but they're far enough away from you that they'll never come in contact with you. But again, having a stun gun in a car is a bad idea. One, you're not going to aim it right, you're going to miss, and then you're just totally effed up. There's nothing you can do about it. And furthermore, you're too close to make it effective, because you can hit the assailant and shock them, but then they'll be able to grab the taser gun from you, they'll be able to pull it off, they'll do a lot of different things, so it's not effective inside a car. Inside a car, there's only one effective tool I think that you should have, other than a dash cam obviously, and that is a traditional taser. That's one you hold with a trigger, you put it into the assailant somehow, and you pull the trigger, electrocuting them. Okay, the reason for that is traditional tasers will have safety features that will keep in close proximity you safe, whether that be a band that goes around your wrists. Some of the best tasers have metal. Okay, so say this is the two prongs of the taser right here. On the side of right here, there'll be metal too. So there'll be two prongs sticking out, and that's what you hit the assailant with. And then on the side of the taser, there'll be metal strips as well. And those metal strips, whenever you fire the taser, are electrified also. So if the assailant tries to grab the taser and pull it away from you or them, then they get electrocuted from the physical contact with the taser also. Okay, that keeps the assailant from pulling the taser away from you, and it is more effective in tasing them. Okay, that's the only thing I think in these close quarters that will have any effectiveness at all. So what I would do, there's a gazillion different kinds of tasers, and I'm not an expert in firearms or tasers or anything like that, so I can't give you specs that you would want. I can't give you a specific brand that's good. All I can say is read the reviews, go in person to some kind of self-defense store that sells them, talk to somebody who's more of an expert on it, because they'll tell you what voltage you need to be effective. Make sure you have one that has some kind of gripper or attachment so that you don't lose it. Put some Velcro tape on the bottom of your dash and on the taser, and then stick it under your dash so it's easily accessible with your right or left hand, and that's what you should use. Okay, we got some comments. Let's see what's going on here. Aaron, I was watching a YouTube video called Liquid Ass. Hit him once with that. Damn, lol. They truly be stinking. That's funny. There's nothing wrong with a little cattle prod. No, I got you, sex addict. Like, you're into BDSM and you want a little laser shock. Well, that's not generally what tasers do. They don't. That's not a comfortable, fun electrical feeling. And yes, there are people who are immune to this, like mostly people who are on some kind of crazy drug. But, you know, if you got someone on PCP in your car that can resist the electric from a, you know, from a taser, I mean, shooting them isn't going to help either. Like, they don't feel pain, so there's nothing you can do about that. Okay, so there you go. There's my 2 cents on self-defense weapons. Now let's talk about the scenario of somebody in your car. Okay, so like I said at the beginning of this video, this is not going to happen to you. I mean, 99.9999.5 or 5%, right? So less than 1%, less than probably 1/100% that this was going to happen to you. But what do you do if somebody is in your car and they either pull out a gun or a knife or whatever it is and try to steal your car or your wallet or threaten your life or whatever it is? And this is where self-defense experts are actually split. So I'm going to side with one side. One side is you always comply, right? This is what they say in like banks. If you're a bank teller and a robber comes in, hold on guys. Tank in the house! What's up, Tank? So if you're at a bank and you're a teller, they say just comply with the assailant. If they pull a gun out, even if they don't pull a gun out, if they just say I have a gun, just do whatever they say and give them the money and move on. The reason the bank says that is because they don't want to put their customers at risk or their employees at risk, not because they like their employees or customers, but because they don't want their employees or customers to sue them. So they don't want to be held legally responsible for saying do something about it. That being said, if every bank robber who came into a bank and pulled out a gun was immediately attacked by every other customer and employee, there would be no more bank robberies. Because yeah, he might shoot 1 or 2 people, but everyone in the bank jumped on top of him, then he would be stopped. That's the same thing with mass shooting. Unless you're like firing an M4 from a window in a hotel, if someone pulls out a gun and starts shooting people, if everyone ran toward the assailant instead of away from the assailant, it would end faster with less casualties than mass shooting. But people are scared and they don't want to sacrifice themselves, so they run away. And I'm not even saying that's a bad thing or I don't understand that. Like, it makes a lot of sense because it's scary. If you've never heard a firearm go off and you hear one, it's super scary. No one wants to deal with that. The other side, so there's 2 sides. There's comply and there's like it's like a mathematical probability. Just jump on the shooter, right? So I agree that action is better than inaction, because if someone pulls out a firearm, just assume you're already dead. And that's kind of a morbid, scary thing to think. But nobody pulls a gun out unless they're intent on shooting you. So if they pull a gun out and they say, give me the keys to your car, there's no guarantee they're not going to shoot you anyway. In fact, they probably are. They're not thinking about that. So always assume if someone has a gun on you that they're going to kill you. And that's my personal opinion on it. So again, in the self-defense world, if you read articles and watch videos that disagree, some will disagree with this. But if someone pulls a gun on you, you're dead. They're going to shoot you. So all you can do is mitigate damage and problems. Let them take it. Don't die. See? There you go. Someone's already disagreeing with me. So I think if somebody is trying to rob you, the best thing you can do is just drive as fast as you can. Just hit the gas. They're not going to kill you if you're going 55 miles an hour. But who knows, this moment they shoot. Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's what I'm talking about. That's the dilemma. If somebody threatens you with a knife or a gun, there's no guarantee that if you comply, you aren't going to be harmed anyway. So don't give up the only power you have. The only power you have is you're driving a 2-ton death machine and they're trapped inside. Also, they're not going to be able to reach you if they have their seatbelt on. So especially if it's a knife, definitely hit the gas. Just go as fast as you can. Avoid, avoid stop signs, avoid stoplights. It doesn't matter. Go through the stop sign. Go through the light. Sideswipe cars. Cause as much damage as you can, because that takes the power out of the assailant's hand, and you are literally in the driver's seat of that situation. So you can say things like, if you want me to stop, throw the gun out the window. If you want me to stop, throw the knife out the window. During this, since you have your Bluetooth on or your phone, you can call 911 and just whatever. Just draw as much attention you can as you want to. Honk, right? Scream help out the window, and then just drive as fast as your ass can go. If you're near a freeway, get on the freeway and go 100 miles an hour. So what you're trying to do is take power back of the situation so that you're in control of the situation, and then you can dictate to the assailant what to do. And this is also where the dash camera comes in handy. So you can show the dash camera footage later about why you were violating all this stuff. And then you can either get pulled over. That's what you're really hoping for, is a police officer pulls you over, or you can call 911, or you can drive to a situation where there is a police officer. So keep an eye out. A lot of times police officers will be on the side of the road pulling somebody over. You can go to a police station. If you're lucky, they'll pull you over and give you a ticket for going 150 miles an hour or whatever it is. So that's the end goal. And this is to either get them to get rid of their weapon, or to get to a police officer somehow by driving. Okay, and if you call 911, let them know, hey, I'm driving in a car. There's someone with a gun behind me who says they're going to steal me and rob me. I'm going northbound on I-5. Please send a police officer to help. That sort of thing. So Lori says, spray him in the eyes with ammonia and run like hell. Yeah, you can do that too. That's a good idea. I'm not saying don't do anything, but given all the situations, I think the best one is to just drive. Okay, don't stop at stoplights. Just go and freak the hell out of the assailant, and then negotiate them down or get safely to a police station. So this is one of the best videos I've done because, look guys, I'm only 5 minutes over. I know every Wednesday I tell you this is only going to be half an hour. So I almost did it. It's 35 minutes. And now I'm opening up questions. You guys can we can talk about anything you want to. We can talk about the new surge. We can talk about 180 days of change. You can ask me any question you want. Go down with the drip. Drive as fast and crazy as you can. Well, there is that. I mean, you could consider that too, right? Like, there's something to be said about, hey, if you kill me, at least I know that you're going to die too. I mean, that you can write that on my grave, I guess, and it might make me feel better, but it's not necessarily a better idea. But it's unilateral disarmament, right? It's like the Cold War, right? If we launch nuclear weapons against Russia, they would launch nuclear weapons against us. It's like disarmament through unilateral destruction. But guys, I'll go ahead and leave up any questions that you want to. I'll answer those questions, and if not, we'll wrap this live stream up. Again, if it's your first time here, go and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, on every Friday and Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I have live streams. You guys can log in for that. That's definitely what I would do. You think Six Flags is fun? Wait, step on the craziest ass ride you'll ever take. Yeah. It is literally a ride to save your life. So yes. But don't worry. This will probably like never happen to you. Like, if it does happen to you, go buy a lottery ticket, because it's the same amount of chance that someone's going to assault you. Do you guys know about the new surge? They're capping surge at a dollar amount. So you can't ever have a surge ride that pays you money. No, you guys haven't heard about that? Well, Steven says, thank you, Aaron, for the stream today. First off, my name is 2 A's. There are 14 ways to spell Aaron, so I don't blame you. But yeah, I like that. Aaron. Think about that skit. You done messed up, Aaron. That's me. And you're welcome, Steven. So, yeah, no problem. I'm glad you appreciated it. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes, and then we're going to wrap up if no one has any questions. Oh, I didn't do a video on Monday. We got family in town. There you go. Michael Aubrandry says, yep, in Charlotte. Tom says, ejection seat button. Yeah. Oops. So hold on. Michael in the house. Tom in the house. What's up, guys? Yeah, I wish there was an eject button. Yes, I heard Charlotte, they're testing it there, and it's terrible. So, oh well, I guess. You know, we all knew that this wasn't going to last. So if they change Surge, I think it'll finally mean people will quit doing Uber, period. I like the new Surge. Why is that? That's interesting. I've never heard someone say they like it. Why do you like it? Because it... Yes, is change over, or is it still more to come? Yeah, we have one more month, right? I think at the end of November they're going to announce one more. November's the last month, I believe. I think. I hope so, because there really hasn't been that much change in the 180 days of change. In fact, we lost our phone support, and our destination filter went from 6 to 2. So, yay. Anyway, so yeah, tell me why you like the new surge policy. It's terrible. You're gonna lose money on it. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the YouTube bell icon. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you're watching it on replay, leave a comment below about what you use for self-defense. That'd be good. Let's be real. Will rates ever go up for the drivers? I think that they're going to on Uber, because Uber is losing their ass with the way it's set up right now. Okay, well, interesting. Here's the thing. The reason they're doing it this way, Michael, is because of upfront pricing. That way they can charge anything they want to the customer, and then you'll only make a flat fee. So believe when I say that Uber, once this is implemented, is going to make money off of this. So Uber could charge someone 3 times the rate, but you're only going to make a couple dollars because of the situation. So what they're doing in Charlotte is testing it out. So yeah, they might be losing money now, but trust me when it goes nationwide that they're going to fix those problems so that Uber's always on the winning side. And nobody will ever have another unicorn ride where you make $200 on one ride, because the surge is going to be gone. Don't forget, Monday I release a rideshare helpful video to help everybody out who's in the rideshare area. And every Wednesday I do one of these, a live new driver AMA stream. So that's good. Just crazy, complete BS. Well, I mean, I believe Michael, if they're making money on it now, that's good. But I'm telling you, when it gets implemented, we're not gonna make money on it. I was gonna say, oh, and I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but if you are a new driver and you haven't received your bonus, go ahead and hit me up offline. So in the description is all my different kinds of ways to contact me, whether that be on Twitter or Facebook or email or whatever, and I'll get you your bonus, okay? As long as it hasn't been more than 14 days since you started driving. 2 weeks is the cutoff for your bonus. But if it hasn't been 2 weeks, then yeah, you can get your bonus. Excuse me. So I think that's it. If there's no more questions, I'll give it another minute here, and then we'll go. Is it Thanksgiving weekend? No, next week. So not this week, but Thanksgiving weekend I won't be driving. I'm going to go to a family event. So I won't have a live stream during Thanksgiving, but that's next week, not this weekend. I'll be doing a live stream this weekend. Okay, guys? Oh, question just popped up. Let's see what it said. Here comes a question. I just saw it pop up. Here we go. One driver made $25 to drive half a mile on Monday Night Football. No spray. Spray equals gas chamber. Cali Uber. Cali Uber in the house. What's up, Cali Uber? Hey, you know, there's an off chance I'm moving to California, Cali Uber, so that'll be good. It'll be in the Berkeley area if it happens. My wife's currently in negotiation with a company down there. So if she gets a job down there, we might be moving. And then we can collab. Cali Uber and Your Personal Driver finally collabing. But yeah, I mentioned that in the video. Don't do spray in the car. You're gonna get yourself as well as the assailant. So, and you're gonna panic. Trust me. Michael. So $25 to drive half a mile. So it increases the minimum. Okay, that's a good idea. Nice, but Cali sucks. I don't know, man. I grew up in Cali. I like California. California knows how to ride share. Okay, I don't know how I'm getting this arm mixed up there. There we go. You see? I used to live in the Bay Area. Stay safe, brother. John in the house. You stay safe too, buddy. You have a good one. You have a good one. So that's it. I guess we're done. No one wants to do another question? Okay. Deuces, guys. I'll see you on Friday at 10 Pacific Standard Time. See you later. Doo-doo-doo-doo.